Knowing how to make money and be financially strong is very important in today's fast-moving world. Just like how a compass helps a traveler find their way in new places, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is like a guide for people who want to understand personal money matters and change the way they think. Every book, just like every person, has its own mix of good and bad points. Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki is no different. While people may have different thoughts on how well it works, it definitely has some key ideas that still make sense to readers of all ages. By looking at 3 good reasons why Rich Dad Poor Dad is still worth reading, we see how it keeps helping people understand money better and think differently. 1. Changing the way you think about money. Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki works like a strong medicine against the dangerous effects of not knowing about money. It challenges readers to not play a risky game of chance with their finances. Kiyosaki's lessons that have stood the test of time act like a shield, protecting against the problems that come from not being aware of money in a world where knowledge is power. The hard truth is made clear: not knowing comes at a price, and following the teachings of Rich Dad Poor Dad is the only way to avoid this financial death sentence. The book's main point is a big change in thinking that questions the usual ideas about building wealth. Kiyosaki suggests adopting a mindset that puts creating assets and passive income first, instead of the usual path of job security and savings suggested by the poor dad. This big shift makes readers rethink what they believe about money, pushing them to learn about money and look for ways to create wealth. In today's world, where the world of money is changing quickly, the example of changing the way you think about money is like finding your way in the digital world. Just like how the internet changed the way we get information, a shift in how you think about money changes your ability to handle the complicated world of personal finance. The old way of just relying on job security and savings is like using outdated computer programs in a time when things are always being updated and improved. Just as staying informed online helps people, adopting a mindset that puts assets and passive income first helps people on their money journey. In a world where understanding money is a key skill, Rich Dad Poor Dad acts like an online guide, helping people upgrade their financial thinking and do well in a time when the world of money is always changing and connected. 2. Plans for building up assets. Rich Dad Poor Dad shows a clear picture of the rat race as a never-ending maze, a tiring chase with no clear end. If your money situation is like an endless hamster wheel, it's time to free yourself from the sameness. The book works as a plan for getting out of this constant cycle, telling readers to follow ideas that lead to having lots of money. Ignoring these rules is a choice to stay stuck, running hard, but ultimately going nowhere. The main idea of building assets makes a lot of sense. Kiyosaki says assets are things that make money, like real estate, stocks, bonds, and businesses. The focus is on getting assets that go up in value and create passive income, which is very different from the common habit of spending on things that lose value. The book doesn't just talk about these ideas in a general way, but also gives practical plans for building wealth. It stresses how important it is to have assets that make money, like real estate and businesses, instead of just relying on money from a regular job. By pointing out the potential of passive income and giving ideas about how to divide up assets and invest, Rich Dad Poor Dad helps readers take active steps towards securing their financial futures. It encourages them to break free from the rat race and run towards lasting financial freedom. In today's world, a good example of building a community as an asset can be found in the world of online business. Online platforms like social media and content creation sites have become powerful tools for people to not only connect, but also to build valuable communities. Successful influencers and content creators, for example, use their online presence to create engaged communities around shared interests. These communities then become assets as they offer chances to work together, make money, and share knowledge. By actively talking with their audience and making valuable content, these digital entrepreneurs turn their online following into a long-lasting asset that not only makes them more influential, but also brings in money. In this case, building a community is a modern example of building up assets. It shows how growing connections and relationships can help a lot with a person's financial well-being in the digital age. 3. Becoming stronger through learning. Rich Dad, Poor Dad supports the idea of always trying to be the best instead of settling for being average. It points out that learning about money is the foundation for achieving wealth and success. Kiyosaki's story highlights the life-changing power of education and believing in yourself. It urges people to break free from the limits of depending on others for money. By simplifying practical advice and real-life experiences, Kiyosaki shows how important it is to learn by doing. He encourages readers to become financially literate and take careful risks in their efforts to build wealth. In today's world, where we can easily find information, the ideas of becoming stronger through learning make more sense than ever. With online platforms offering courses, webinars, and a huge range of resources, people can give themselves the knowledge they need to navigate the complex world of finance. The rise of financial influencers and educational content creators on social media has made it even easier for people from all backgrounds to learn about money and take charge of their financial futures. For example, think about the impact of influencers sharing their investment journeys on platforms like YouTube or TikTok. These influencers not only give valuable insights, but also inspire a new generation to actively learn about money. By following the ideas of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, people today have the chance to use educational resources, take control of their financial futures, and start a journey toward being the best they can be in their efforts to build wealth. In conclusion, while Rich Dad, Poor Dad may have its critics, it stays relevant because it makes people think, inspires action, and shares timeless wisdom about making money and being financially strong. As readers engage with its ideas and use them in their own lives, they open up a path towards financial independence and fulfillment. We're now accepting donations in the form of subscriptions to our channel to support our upcoming projects. Feel free to donate. It won't cost you anything, but will greatly boost our confidence in providing the best content for you. Thank you for your support.